What is up, guys? It's Level Up Friday, and this is the Casual Wrestling Daily Podcast. We've got some news to talk about tonight, a little Smackdown talk to talk, and Lauren will try to improve her record in a Wrestling 10 Questions. But before we jump into that, make sure to hit the like button if you are watching us on YouTube, and if you are listening on Spotify or other podcast networks, feel free to leave us a nice little 5-star review. What is up, Lauren?
Not much.
We are in the house. We're about a week away from Royal Rumble.
I know, that's crazy.
It crept up on me, man. We went through a 9-week drought of no premium live events, and here we are. We're knocking on the doorstep. I give Triple H like a C- on navigating that empty period of time. He used a lot of kind of shady tricks to get us through the 9 weeks.
Yeah, I really can't. If you ask me, like, recall everything that happened, I probably wouldn't be able to.
I get it, and
lots of forgetful moments.
To me, that is the evidence for the C-. Before we jump into today's show, I'd like to give a quick shout out to this week's Patreon producers: Jay by Proxy, Muscle Fiend 53, Randall Beatley, the OG Ian the Noobs Newberry, and our OG It's Zinni. All right, now let's jump right in. It looks like Ronda Rousey will be a no-show at this year's Royal Rumble. Despite teasing going after the tag team titles with Shayna Baszler, reports are that Ronda will not be at the event this year. Fightful Select reports that while several veterans have reached out to the WWE about making Royal Rumble appearances, WWE has said to have been leaning away from traditional surprises in favor of what they are calling non-traditional surprises. So basically that means we're probably going to see Bad Bunny. We're probably going to see Logan Paul. We'll probably see Pat McAfee. And we'll probably see some unexpected celebrities. I think that non-traditional surprise means they are attempting to reach out into other markets.
True.
The old like veteran wrestler thing only appeases like old wrestling fans. Mm-hmm. Half the time, like last year's Rumble, there was quite a few people that I even watched growing up, and you were like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "I have no fucking clue." I don't know
the
who
women,
that is.
right? Was that we watched, and I was like, "Who's that lady?"
Yeah,
I think our kids were even like, "Who's that old lady?"
I mean, our kids were so lost.
The one who was like a nurse.
They were
right.
I don't remember who it was. It was either you or Skylar at one point when somebody was knocked off the ring. Said, "I hope Grandma is okay." Somebody made that reference to somebody getting knocked off the ring. I mean, yeah, like cool, I guess.
So is college over yet? Is it time for Pat to come back?
Pat's done. Pat's clear.
I didn't even think about that. Like
he's available, but that was always kind of the sentiment when he left, was that he'll be ready right around Royal Rumble. The question still remains. I haven't watched his show as much lately. I've been busy, but I haven't heard him speak about a return. But that doesn't.
But why would he?
No, I agree. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything. It could 100% be kept a surprise. But when you look at the men's roster, I don't know how many vacant spots there's going to be for surprises. So I think that, Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, and Pat McAfee, that's, at least those three guys. What I can say about those three guys is that they all take it serious enough that they have credibility going into the match.
True.
Thunder Rosa plans to be back on the road with AEW soon. Rosa has been out of action since August. While speaking on the Busted Open radio show, she said she would be back on the road with the AEW soon. However, she doesn't know when she will get to wrestle again. Her plan is to show face and be around backstage while she gears up for her in-ring return. Lauren, I imagine that she's showing face because 90% of people don't know who the fuck she is.
Yeah.
I mean, look, honestly, minus the makeup, you're walking down the street.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa walks past you. We have no fucking clue it's her, right?
I mean,
we've probably.
I would just think she was another Mexican.
She comes to San Antonio an awful lot.
Does she really?
We probably have walked past her at some point in our daily routine.
Yeah, I've seen her without the makeup. it's not as exciting.
I mean, she just looks like
the makeup. I will definitely admit the makeup is cool because even the first time I saw her, I was like, "Oh, this is cool. It's a cool gimmick."
I mean,
but it fizzles after a minute.
It's a cool gimmick. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely recognizable, but the reality is that outside of AEW, most people don't know who Thunder Rosa is.
No.
In the casual wrestling world, most people don't care who Thunder Rosa is, and then that's
what has she been doing all this time?
Injured. Apparently she was injured, and then she
injured
had to,
or injured.
No, I think she was really injured because she had to vacate the title. She was. I mean, here's the thing: like it came and went, but like I don't have any recollection of her being the AEW Women's Champion.
No, we were there when she won it, right?
Yeah, and like after that, there was nothing really memorable that happened to talk about. So I think that here is the problem for AEW. The reality is, there's two people that belt should be on right now, and it's not on either of them. And that's only if you're trying to appeal to the broader audience. Mm-hmm. It has to be on Britt Baker. It has to be on Soraya. If I get that Jamie Hayter is a popular choice within the IWC, but as far as like broad appeal goes, nobody still to this day, most people don't know who she is. And that when I say that's not meant to be a knock on these people. That title needs to be used as a marketing tool to get eyes on the product. If Soraya is the champion,
yes, then
it looks better to have Jamie Hayter approach against Soraya versus when Toni Storm was the champion, or who I don't even know who Hayter beat. I think it was Toni Storm. Now I don't remember, but whoever
I think she did
beat,
take it from Toni Storm.
Whoever she beat, there wasn't a high profile enough match to kind of turn the casual audience onto who Jamie Hayter is. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's, up until now, that hasn't really been AEW's MO. Yeah. They just kind of do what the IWC wants them to do. But for anybody still wondering what's going on with CM Punk, his future in the AEW is still in jeopardy. You can rest easy because Tony Khan said he has not made up his mind either way on whether CM Punk is coming back or not.
So is he getting paid still?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, he's still under contract.
Okay.
He's still getting money. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that it is months away from the time that Tony Khan will be forced to make a decision on whether to keep Punk under contract or release him. Man, Lauren, there's nothing better than running a company and just keeping all your employees in limbo about a major decision, right?
Yeah.
Nothing better than procrastinating a decision like this. When you definitely have a split locker room where half of them are worried about him coming back and half of them now are coming out and talking about how they had no problem with him. Mm-hmm. And I still say when you kind of draw that line of who had the problem and who didn't, it's a very interesting line to look at, right? It's, it is some of the like the Jerichos and the Elite and the Kenny Omegas.
Jericho didn't like him?
That's the reports are that Jericho didn't want him back. So
who were the people who didn't like it? In my mind, it would of course be
who didn't like him.
Kenny Omega and all them.
It's the Sheelite, it's Kenny Omega, it's Jericho. Those are the ones I've heard. Ricky Starks was on the side of
I don't care,
saying that he liked CM Punk.
Yeah.
Powerhouse Hobbs said he liked CM Punk. Jade Cargill came out, said she was a fan of CM Punk, said he was nothing but nice to her. Yeah. I imagine Britt Baker, he seemed to have a good relationship with Britt Baker. FTR, they've talked
nothing. What about Daniel Bryan?
I don't know. I don't know where he stands. I don't know that Bryan Danielson's that invested into the company of AEW as much as he just shows up and does his job.
What about Moxley?
I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
I have no clue. I think some of those guys are at a level.
Just go and do what they need to do.
I don't think Moxley has any worry, right? He's the top guy and nobody's going to touch that. Yeah. I think that the Sheelite and Kenny Omega.
You are saying the Sheelite,
I am
right?
saying the Sheelite. Okay. Yes. No, that is definitely a term I coined while writing this segment.
Okay.
But I mean, here's the simple truth, Tony Khan. You have two choices, and it's not that hard, right? You either release CM Punk and accommodate the Sheelite, accommodate the Mean Girls Club, or you grow a set of balls and you do what's best for business, and immediately upon CM Punk's ability to be cleared into the ring, You bring back FTR, you pair them with CM Punk, and you immediately have the Elite drop the trio titles to CM Punk and FTR, and you create possibly one of the most epic stories. Whenever, if it's summer, if it's whatever time it is, but I think you want the headlines, you want to sell tickets, you want to move merchandise, immediately force Kenny Omega and the She-Elite to stand in front of CM Punk and give them both microphones. AEW likes these promo rap battles. Man, give them microphones and let them square off and air out their grievances. And there will be fireworks, sparks, fires, dumpster fires, whatever the hell you want. It will all be there. Everybody in the wrestling world will tune in to see
a dumpster fire.
Oh man, yeah.
It.
Reports are circulating that The Rock is not going to wrestle at WrestleMania 30 now, and that he will not be at the Royal Rumble this year. The Rock has not competed for WWE since 2016 when he got a 6-second victory over Eric Rowan at WrestleMania. What was that? I don't remember what WrestleMania
31?
was. Huh?
Was it 31?
No, I said WrestleMania. I don't even know what WrestleMania we're on. We're on 39, and
It would have been the 30. One after we went. Oh no, never mind. It would have been 2 after we went.
I just called it 30 at the beginning of this story, but I think it's 39. I get lost in this. We went to 38, so I think it was 32 that he. So the last time The Rock wrestled was at WrestleMania 32. Now Dave Meltzer is reporting. The great Dave Meltzer is reporting that The Rock has openly informed the WWE that he does not believe that he has been given enough time to get in adequate shape for WrestleMania. What the fuck? Adequate time? Everybody and their mom has known about this match since last year's WrestleMania. It was rumored to be the main event of last year's WrestleMania, and then the reports were that The Rock wanted to do it in Hollywood. So I'm calling complete bullshit on Dave Meltzer here.
You think that they're just trying
this
to like
is
pull the wool over our head?
100% bullshit. This is 100% that once we start getting closer to the Royal Rumble and people start to ruin the surprise and start to talk about it, they need a quick audible to get everybody looking the other direction.
You got me, Dave.
Like, I mean, come on. You're really telling me that The Rock can't take a couple more steroids so that he can get in the ring and hit a couple of moves?
How much more shape does he have to be into? Because well,
the problem is when you allegedly do steroids and you allegedly get that much muscle, because he's awkwardly big at this point. You have zero stamina. All of those muscles require a ton of oxygen to operate. So the endurance that it takes to wrestle, I think you might have to slim down just a little bit and get more into an endurance kind of shape and less of a bodybuilder's look.
Is that why like some of them, like there's not a lot of really, really muscular big wrestlers?
Yeah. I mean, it's same with UFC. Look at UFC. Like a lot of your guys in UFC aren't extremely cut up. Some of them are a little look
chubby.
like little tanks.
I didn't know that.
Because the way you store energy and muscle takes more oxygen. Yeah.
Cool.
But I mean, come on, man. Dave Meltzer. I trust what Dave Meltzer says about as much as I trust that new AEW wrestler Willow to throw me through a table. Did you see her throw Anna Jay through a table?
Yes, I did.
I mean, just missed the table.
Yes.
Fucking landed on concrete, her head. Like, come on, man.
You're like, what did that just happen?
There is, like, you do have the ability, like, as AEW to go, this is a bad idea. Let's not do this. Like, that's the things that happen in AEW that scare me, right?
Yeah.
But you're going to tell me that this whole generational bloodline thing that we're doing on Raw 30th anniversary isn't a setup for The Rock?
He's going to be there, right?
Right? No. What we're doing is we're giving us an opportunity to look at Rikishi's pimply ass again. That's
so
what
gross.
we're doing it for. The last story of today is it seems that the WWE for sale carousel keeps spinning as a new favorite has emerged to be the front runner to buy Vince McMahon's company, right? To buy Vince McMahon. I still don't think he's selling. I think this was a beautiful work of artistry, con man bullshit to align himself back into the company, to get everybody talking like he's going to sell it. And ultimately, 6 months from now, he's going to go, the offers just weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Nothing was good enough. You guys are used to me being around here. I'll stick around and stay on. But according to Bovada.tv.
All right, Bovada.tv.
The credible betting website called Bovada.tv. They have released betting odds on who will be the lucky winner to own WWE in the year 2023. The list of odds are as follows. NBC Comcast is now the favorite at negative 140. This is the most logical answer. I do believe that, like, when the smoke clears, if WWE is really sold, it makes sense that it goes to the company that hosts WWE Network right now.
Yeah. Because they already got everything set up.
Well, it would just be business as usual, I think. You would just have a different person on the title.
It'd also be super annoying because, like, we're used to being able to go there to find, like, all the pay-per-views and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Is you got to imagine if someone like Disney or someone like Amazon or someone like Fox buys the WWE and moves the network over there, and they don't like that traditional, or not not traditional, but this new form of, like, all premium live events are free.
Yeah.
Wrestling fans would lose their shit because at this point,
we're used to it now. Like, we've got it, and if you change it up on us, we're gonna be like, what the fuck?
We're used to paying our $12 a month and getting our premium live event, whereas, you had to pay like,
or what would be even
$59.
fucking worse is if they switched it over and then, like, come pay-per-view event, it just fucking crash.
Yeah,
like,
you would expect that. I think that happened with UFC and, like, ESPN. Like, when something's new, I don't expect it to run smoothly all the time, but I do think that I think the bigger like disruptor would be if they decided. So number 2 is Disney at plus 350. So still in the mix for this thing is Disney, who I think would be the most interesting of the list to buy.
So is plus or minus good or bad? I don't know. I don't bet.
So minus is for every $100 you bet, you can win. I don't remember exactly how it works, but minus means that it's if you're minus, you're highly predicted. For the outcome. Once you get to plus, it's favorable for the bettor. So plus 350 is a favorable bet. The Endeavor Group, which is who owns UFC, plus 900. So big jump. So it looks like the reality, most people are predicting it's a 2-horse race with Comcast and Disney. Amazon at plus 950. Fox at plus 1,200. Netflix at plus 1,200. Warner Brothers, which is who own, or doesn't own, but it's who televises AEW at plus 1,500. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his Redbird Capital Company. It's an investment group.
Yeah.
The ones that bought XFL.
Yeah.
Plus 2,000. So that's, it's extreme long shot, but he's on the list.
Yeah.
Here we go. The Sovereign Wealth Fund of Saudi Arabia is now plus 2,000.
All right.
And Tony Khan is plus 3,000. But I want to talk about the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Saudi Arabia is now plus 2,000. Do you remember when the internet completely lost their shit last week or the week before?
Yes.
When they were 100% sure, the IWC was 100% sure that WWE,
official.
It was already sold.
The women can't wear clothes anymore.
Exactly. That some shady deal went down overnight. We were going to wake up and all hell was going to break loose. And I was eating this shit up because all of these, WWE insiders were just reporting the same shit, which it fucking shows that they're just sniffing each other's asshole. It's a circle. Like, they're all smelling the same shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's absolutely no accountability when it comes to, like, these Dave Meltzers and these people who claim they have insight. Who are they talking to? Like the janitor?
I don't know. I would one day just like to know who the insiders are. They won't tell us.
Is there a janitor with like a cup against the door during the meeting? And they're like, look, this is what I think they heard. I heard something about Saudi Arabia and we're selling the company. Like, who are you talking to that you get this so wrong?
You know what I imagine? Like when people, when they work for NASA and stuff and they're like on their deathbed and they finally admit, like, I was the leaker. Yeah, somebody from WWE is going to be like, I gave Dave Meltzer all the answers.
But who in the company has that information? When it's a family company, you got to imagine that, like, the secrets are pretty guarded between, I think, Nick Khan.
It's a stepbrother everybody hates.
Shane McMahon, he's not stepbrother, but
I'm just making up somebody.
I doubt he even knows. I imagine.
Or what is it? Son-in-law. Is there a son-in-law somebody doesn't like?
Triple H is the son-in-law.
Because he only has 2 kids, right?
What are you talking about?
How many kids does he have?
Stephanie and Shane.
Oh. Is he married, Shane?
I don't know. Man, you are digging down a weird hole.
Okay.
Stop what you're doing right now and head over to patreon.com/The Casual Wrestling Show and hit that follow button. And if you really enjoy the content, become a patron of the show for just $5 a month. You'll gain access to behind-the-scenes videos and all kinds of exclusive content. That's patreon.com/The Casual Wrestling Show. I put my heart and soul into trying to provide you guys with entertaining podcasts every day, and I truly appreciate every single person who listens to the podcast, whether you're a patron or not. Now let's get back to it. All right, let's get into some Smack talk here. I got 4 questions for you today about SmackDown that I want you to help me kind of break down.
Okay.
Who are you predicting will be in the finals of the SmackDown Tag Team Tournament?
The two...
So there's
like the ones against each other right now.
We started off with 2, 4, 6, 8, right? Mm-hmm. And now we're down to 4 teams. Who do you think ends up in the finals?
All right, so between the Brawling Brutes and Imperium, the Brawling Brutes won, right?
No,
I'm sorry, Imperium won.
Who's left is Sheamus, McIntyre.
I'd say Sheamus and McIntyre versus Imperium.
That's what I have. That's exactly what I think. That's what it has to be.
And I think that Sheamus and Drew McIntyre are going to win. That's what I think.
Interesting. I could see it.
And maybe it's by maybe the Brawling Brutes interfere somehow to help them win. But
this is okay. So here's where this gets a little bit confusing to me, because everybody's sentiment right now is that when we get to WrestleMania, it's going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. Okay. We're under this belief right now, or we're being told that the tag team belts are now not linked together. You can lose one without losing the other.
Okay.
The higher chance right now is that the Raw tag team title gets taken away from the Usos before the SmackDown. Mm-hmm. So you got to assume that the Judgment Day are in line for that title.
Okay.
It looks like Dom and Damian are going to get an opportunity at that. So that leaves us, if Sheamus and Drew McIntyre win the SmackDown tournament, at some point they have to get a title opportunity. Maybe, I guess, at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
That works, where then it's probably going to be Roman versus Sammy. I guess that works. I could see that.
That's who I think is going to win.
I don't know who's going to win the tournament. I think it's going to be, I think Imperium could use the push. Mm-hmm. I think it would be interesting to see, because I ultimately think whoever wins is going to lose to the Usos. So what is the purpose of causing Sheamus and Drew McIntyre to have to go take a loss to the Usos?
That's true. I didn't think of it that way.
I think that the Imperium are better afforded an opportunity to be on a premium live event in a big match against the Usos and have a big match, because the Imperium works well. They look good in the ring. And I think them and Usos could put on a hell of a show, which would...
What we saw tonight, I was like, they got Da Vinci or whatever his name is.
Hey, Da Vinci showed out tonight, man.
I said, man, I've never even seen him make any moves before.
He did. He showed out tonight. He did that one thing where he tagged in and hit the one rope and bounced off the other rope and did a backflip.
I told you, though, they write his name on his butt so that you remember who he is.
I guess so. Second question is, do you have any idea what the hell is going on with Bray Wyatt at this point? Can you help me out on that? I'm so fucking lost.
What I think has happened is that LA Knight made something pop off in his head, and now he's going back to who he used to be, and he's blaming him and saying, you did this to me. And then that what is it, Howdy Harry, or what's his name? Uncle Howdy.
Howdy Harry.
Uncle Howdy, that's why he came on then and was like, I did it to you, son. You know what I mean? That's what I think is going on. I could be totally wrong, because I'm just happy that the Funhouse.
That explanation makes about as much sense as what I've gathered from what I have no clue.
That's what's going on in my mind. That's what I think.
To me, it just feels like it's like fan service, right? We're just seeing a bunch of shit that we want to see, and everybody there's a bunch of people who are pretending that they're following this story. You're not following this story. What's happening is there's a lot of cool shit happening.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt is hitting all of the right notes. Everybody's excited. LA Knight's playing into it, and it's been fun.
LA Knight did really good today.
Yeah, well, he does it good every time. I think LA Knight. I like LA Knight. He's one of my new favorite wrestlers. But I think that, like, if you ask me to predict most matches, I have an idea. I can tell you what's going to happen. If you ask me to talk about this pitch black match that's going to happen at Royal Rumble, I have absolutely no clue. And I'm just hoping that it's not like a clusterfuck. I'm hoping that it's not just like a just train wreck of a match where the lights are off, people can't see, people are pissed
no
off.
Expectations. So
I mean,
I just want to be surprised and enjoy it.
I just hope someone gets hit by a Mountain Dew.
If
you're going to call it Mountain Dew Pitch Black, someone has to get hit in the head with a Mountain Dew at some point. It would be
super cool.
What's
if
that?
they like slime them with Mountain Dew.
Just a whole bottle of Mountain Dew just poured on LA Knight's head.
Yeah.
All right, Lauren. Question number 3: Is Charlotte Flair working as a babyface for you?
Oh, 100%. She literally like walked out and I said, you know what? I think that it was really good that she took some time off because what did I say? You miss what you don't have, right?
So, okay. I mean, so you're behind. I don't like her as a babyface. I still feel like I'm going to lay my cards down on this is a swerve waiting to happen. This is her.
So she's going to turn.
She's building investment with the crowd. She's going to get everybody on her side. She's going to use Sonya Deville to be the good guy. And then as we turn the corner around Elimination Chamber, she's going to flip back into her. She's a natural heel. Mm-hmm. Her comfort zone is being a heel.
Well, I think she's trying to win back. See, I liked her before, so it didn't matter. But it seemed like there was a lot of people who don't like her. They say like, she's entitled, whatever, blah blah blah.
It's the IWC people. I mean, it is. And I mean,
I like her either way. I'm just happy she's back.
I've never been a huge
like her.
fan, but I respect and understand what she's done for the industry, and anybody who tries to downplay what she's done or try to make it seem like it's all based on who she is or who her dad is, I think that that's a little bit of a fucking joke. Like, she legitimately is an incredible athlete.
Oh yeah.
Her work ethic is impeccable. Mm-hmm. To hear her talk, she just wants to be great at this. Like, that's what it is. And I don't like, you can't blame her for you. Like, you can say nepotism exists, but you can't, if someone is striving to overcome it, you can't continue to throw that back at her.
And they put in the work and stuff like that, and they don't just rely on who they are, then.
But I think her natural comfort zone is a heel, and I think going into WrestleMania, like, you already kind of have some baby faces set up. I think that she
I think it's perfect if you're saying that they're going to turn her back heel.
Well, if the stories are true that she's going to go into a program with Bianca Belair, mm-hmm. I don't see WWE turning Bianca heel.
No.
So I could see Charlotte sliding over and making a turn and naturally going back.
Which would be interesting.
So, last question here. What do you think is going to happen at the Royal Rumble between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns? And if you're the WWE, how do you protect Kevin Owens in his inevitable loss to Roman Reigns?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
So I'm going to jump in first. Here's what I'm going to say. Let's pretend for a second that the rumors that Dave Meltzer has talked about, that The Rock isn't showing up, that those rumors are true. So let's book based on that. Based on that idea, I would have Sami Zayn get involved in the match and get Roman Reigns disqualified.
On purpose?
No, listen to me. If he gets disqualified, he loses, but he doesn't lose the belt.
Okay. So
that causes... No, and it doesn't have to be on purpose. Mm-hmm. It could be in an accidental way.
Like, I was just trying to help.
Exactly.
Chief.
It's the last thing that breaks the straw, right? That breaks the whatever the straw that broke the camel's back, whatever back, whatever it is, whatever happens, Sammy causes KO to win. So KO comes out with a win. He looks good coming out of this match. He beat the tribal chief. He's in line for a championship match. Mm-hmm. That's what it feels like, right? But the bloodline turn on Sammy. They go after Sammy. At that point, Sammy somehow finds his way back to Kevin Owens, where Kevin tells him, you go take on Roman. And so they book, the rumor is that they're booking Elimination Chamber, Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
If The Rock is truly not going to be at WrestleMania, Sami Zayn should win that match. He should win the WWE title. Completely change the landscape of what's going on pre-WrestleMania, because everybody, including myself, think we know exactly what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Yeah. Like, we've got this planned out. Put Cody Rhodes on the back burner and have Sami Zayn win the title, and then have him go into WrestleMania, and he could wrestle against Roman Reigns night 1 or night 2, Cody Rhodes one night. But I think Sami Zayn has this momentum that we've seen with Kofi Kingston. We've seen it with Bryan Danielson. The crowd is behind him in a way that they are not behind a bunch of other people. They're not behind Cody Rhodes the same way they're behind Sami Zayn. They're not behind Roman Reigns the same way they're behind Sami Zayn right now.
No, I agree 100%.
And you talk about a missed opportunity. And I think Kevin Owens needs to be protected, because ultimately Kevin Owens is the long-term solution. Mm-hmm. But right now, the immediate solution is Sami Zayn. And so that's how you protect Kevin Owens, is you let Kevin Owens slide out of there with the win, but you somehow then go straight into the momentum building of Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. That's what I think.
That's a great explanation. And I'm going to go with, that was a real deep question. And so my short answer would be Sami Zayn says something and Kevin will be all right.
All right. Do you want the chance to win a $25 WWE gift card? The Casual Wrestling Daily Show is now on all podcast networks, and we need your help. Head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave the show a 5-star review. Then make sure to tag us on your preferred social media network. Drawings will be held after each WWE Premium Live event, so head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and make it rain stars on the Casual Wrestling Daily Podcast. Back to the show. All right, let's do a weekly recap real quick of the things that happened this week on the Casual Wrestling Daily Podcast. Number 1, I did Royal Rumble predictions. If you remember last year, Corey sent us a Royal Rumble prediction sheet, which you can fill out one as well.
Yes, I will.
But I got the luxury of talking to our listeners about what to do, and they've given me a lot to think about in the next couple of days as I fill out my list. Okay. Lots of suggestions, but I predict that, and I'll tell you this, spoilers, you'll be able to use them on our prediction show next week.
I'm going to go with what I feel. So even what you say, I'm not going to let you affect
and there's
my
a chance that this changes by the time we talk about it next week. But right now I've got Rock winning at 30. I still believe that The Rock wins even after these rumors. I've got Rhea Ripley winning around the 15th spot on the women's side. I think in the last 4, I had Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and The Rock.
Okay.
I don't remember on the women's side. It was Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley. But some of my predictions were that Logan Paul will be in the Royal Rumble. I think I had Pat McAfee in the Royal Rumble.
I didn't even think about Pat McAfee coming back. That didn't even cross my mind. So on
the women's side, I said Chelsea Green, who I don't think you know a lot about. I also said Naomi. That? I think Naomi may be back.
Oh, you think she's going to come back?
Yeah. But so we talked about that this week. That was fun. That was actually a fun segment to talk about, was to kind of go through and I liked it because it was very, I got to kind of throw out my thoughts, and then I got a lot of pushback and a lot of feedback on like, hey man, consider this. And a lot of like, there's definitely going to be changes.
It's interesting to see what other people think, you know?
Oh yeah. And definitely interesting to see how much I overthink certain things, because the rules are for like a surprise entrance.
Yeah.
It's anybody that's not announced. And literally there's only like a few women announced for the Royal Rumble.
It could be like anybody.
So like someone, I didn't have Lacey Evans, but someone goes Lacey Evans, and I'm like, man, that just seems like that was almost too easy of an answer.
I always feel like they don't know what to do with Lacey Evans, and I feel like we always get like these little spurts of her, and then she disappears.
I think they've got it figured out. I think this new gimmick is going to work.
I hope so, because I actually really like her.
I think they're kind of aligning her to be the new Sergeant Slaughter, the new like American hero, and the Cobra Clutch was like, it's like a finishing move where you tap them out.
I kind of know who Sergeant Slaughter is. He's the guy who wears the
drill sergeant hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing we talked about this week was the passing of Jay Briscoe, which that was fucking sad. That was hard. That and just for like personal reasons to see like a dad with his daughters. Yeah, no, I know, man. That was rough. But the thing I wanted to talk about was the bitch ass move of Warner Brothers blocking Tony Khan from having a tribute on television. And the thing I wanted to say about this, I wanted to kind of add on to I didn't really talk a lot about this, but I do want to add on, fucking what a pussy Tony Khan is. Like, fuck them. When something like this happens, this is when you grow a fucking set of balls and a dick, and you come out and you tell Warner Brothers, go fuck yourself. I'm about to do something, and if you guys have a real problem, fucking pull me off the air.
Why wouldn't they let him do it?
So apparently Jay Briscoe has a history of homophobic tweets. He's made some remarks.
But drugs and all that other shit that everybody else does is okay?
Yeah, exactly, right? All the other shit that all these wrestlers fucking do, and this is the one thing we're really going to hone in on and say he can't be on TV, even though he apologized numerous times. But this, I blame Tony Khan, because to me, this is the big dick difference between, like, big dick energy between Vince McMahon and Tony Khan is, I think Vince McMahon
he would have done it and then
does it anyway and go, later. I don't even think he apologizes. He goes, fucking pull me off the air and see what happens. Yeah. I'll take my fucking shit and go somewhere else. If you really want to play this game. Whereas I think Tony Khan, I get it.
That's why everybody had the dance.
It's just not in his DNA, but how can he expect to be successful and earn the respect of the...
I feel like, and I don't know if he has that person, right? Because I don't know enough about AEW's infrastructure.
He needs a fucking general.
Exactly.
He needs somebody in his organization that can't be a wrestler. He's got to quit going and getting... It can't be Chris Jericho. It can't be the She-Elite. It can't be CM Punk. It's got to be somebody who comes in and puts the fucking...
He's your warrior. He goes to battle for you and he fucking fights your wars.
The problem is you just, like, when you're that rich and you really invested your own money into it, who do you trust?
To love it like you do.
To love it like you do, and to, like, understand that, yeah, you're going to go to war with Warner Brothers, and you're probably going to gain a lot of love from the wrestling community, but you are going to sever some business opportunities. But I think at that point, you talk about, like, just really taking an opportunity to, like, double down and go, I'm a bad motherfucker and you're not going to stop me from doing the right thing here.
Look at him, though. It doesn't seem like his personality.
I agree. He just kind of has that, like, look away mentality of, like, oh, we'll do it at a different time. Or, like, I think he's doing a Ring of Honor thing, which won't be on TNT or TBS. But if I was him, I would have just, like, I'd have just fucking done it and then waited for the call and been like, hey,
well, I mean, even tonight on
Smackdown,
they made reference to him and said, we just want to
and I get that Smackdown can't lean too heavy into it, because there was really almost zero association between the Briscoes and WWE.
But they acknowledged it.
Exactly. So, well, they acknowledged it on AEW, but I think that AEW should have laid more into it. I really think that's when you put your fucking feet down and you take a stance. And these, like, what's WB really going to do? They're not going to sever that relationship. Like, they're not going to do it. The third thing we talked about this week was my Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling, which is going to become a regular thing on Thursdays. I'm going to do a different Mount Rushmore every week, but this week I did women's wrestling, and I did Charlotte, Chyna, Lita, and Trish Stratus. Now, normally I would defend that list to the death.
Okay.
Because I sat and I made it, but Chipda, a listener of the show, called me out in the comments of the video and said, how do you make a list of women's wrestling that does not include Stephanie McMahon? He's 100% correct on that.
I don't know enough about her for it to...
I mean, she is the one who pushed and kind of started the women's revolution. And I get when you're making a Mount Rushmore, it's funny because I saw some people say, well, historically, Mount Rushmores are people who paved the way. I get it, but that's not usually how they're used in debate style. Usually you're going for, like, 4 generational talents.
Yeah.
But I think that when I look at this list, I'd have to remove Lita then. I'd have to go Charlotte Flair, Chyna, Stephanie McMahon, and Trish Stratus. And Lita just doesn't make it because there's not a fifth spot.
Yeah. I mean, from what I know, that sounds like a pretty solid list. I don't know who I would choose to take.
I get you don't have enough history with wrestling. I just was running this by you.
Yeah, but I actually know who all those people are. So I mean, even from that point, you know.
And the other problem, but this is like people don't understand these like when you do stuff like this, when you make a Mount Rushmore, you do it with the intention of like causing controversy, right? Like when
Nikki Bella.
Well, so no,
Flair,
stop,
Becky Lynch,
stop joking,
and Paige.
Stop joking.
That's mine.
Those names were all thrown out throughout the comments of that
Nikki
video.
Bella was the longest reigning women's champion, Divas champion or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like you I know you're making joke to like names that you know.
No, but I'm saying that those are the people that like I would choose. Well, like if you told me to make a Mount Rushmore.
Because wrestling is so generational. And that's what's funny, right? Is that the people that you grew up, or not grew up, but like your wrestling history starts
from Nikki Bella
in this generation, right?
Yeah.
Whereas mine starts in the Attitude Era, because I got people who would comment, if you don't have the fabulous Moolah and Mae Young on your list, what do you do? Motherfucker, I didn't watch them. I didn't, and
I was 2 years old, bro.
And there's not enough historical documentation. Like, I get it. On the men's side, WWE beats home the fact that Hulk Hogan was a big deal. Ric Flair was a big deal. Macho, they continue to tell you what but they don't sit and tell you what Moolah and Mae Young did. So like, if you didn't watch in that time period, or you don't have I'm not a historian of wrestling. My wrestling knowledge starts around the Attitude Era. That's why Lita makes it. That's why Trish Stratus makes it. So I get that. And I understand that. The other name that was thrown out was AJ Lee. I understand AJ Lee had a cult following. I don't know what the argument that people can make to put her on the Mount Rushmore. I just don't know. Like, I don't even know.
I don't know enough about her to like. I know that she's CM Punk's wife, and that's it.
It's that argument of like, I'm not even positive that in the time AJ Lee was wrestling, she was always the best woman when she was there. Like it flipped between her and Nikki Bella, and there was a couple others. And so like, she was always in the mix, but I just don't know what impact she had on the business that ultimately like
made it life-changing.
Put her in like a historical point of view.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a fun one. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. Okay. I'm gonna come up with a different one next week, and we'll be able to talk about that.
All right.
But that leads us to our 10 questions this week. Lauren, I believe you got it right last week. Are you 1-1 now since we started 10 questions?
Yes.
So you're 1-1. I need to notate that somewhere. So
we'll
you're
just
1-1.
Go with a solid yes.
So I see that you could be messing with me. All right, season officially starts today.
I'm gonna take the win.
So
give me the one, bro.
No, we're gonna do like it's like
one.
It's like professional sports. Like professional, you had 2 preseason games. You got warm ups, but now we're in the weeds. We're in the big leagues here, and this matters.
I don't think I like that, but okay, let's go.
And I think that instead of doing predictions for premium live events, our title should be based on this.
That's not fair because you don't have to do anything.
I have to stump you. I have to, it's going to get harder and harder to find names that you can't figure out.
Okay.
So 10 questions. Here we go.
Ew.
WWE superstar.
Okay.
Let's go.
Are they on SmackDown?
No.
They're on Raw.
Yes. Why would you burn the second question?
That wasn't a question. That was a statement. I said, so they're on Raw.
Did you say so?
I said, so, not are they.
I'm going to have to check the tapes on that one.
You can re-record it or whatever. So they're on Raw. All right. So they are on Raw. Are they a woman?
No.
It says a man. Okay. Next question.
Yes.
Are they white?
Yes.
Okay. Motherfucker.
I see. So I've seen your pattern that you're using, and now I know how to choose. And I feel like there should be an outlawing of certain questions, but until I can really figure it out.
Are they part of a tag team?
Yes.
Were they on Raw this week?
I'm going to be real honest with you. By the time we get to this show,
You forget what happened
I have
on Raw?
no clue what happened on Raw.
I was hoping you would say no, and then I would like just no. Okay. Okay. So do I get that question back then? Okay. Have they been in movies?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of, no. Nothing we've ever seen.
Okay. Okay.
That's 5. 4 more questions.
All right. Do they have long hair?
No, that's 6.
Motherfucker. This is so hard now.
It's intended to be hard.
Okay. Do they have short hair? Okay. Do they have blonde hair?
No.
Okay. And they're on a tag team?
2 questions.
Do we say they were on a tag team?
Uh-huh.
Tag team.
You have 2 questions and a guess.
We don't know if they were on there. They have short hair.
Uh-huh.
Do they have red hair?
No. I can see myself in this camera, and I always think that I'm holding the numbers
Okay.
up, but I forget I'm only half the screen. That's 8. You have 1 question and a guess.
Do they have an accent?
No, that's 9. You got to guess.
Okay.
Man, you didn't. I don't even think you got in the ballpark this time.
I have no idea who it is. I'm going to say Drew McIntyre, and I know he has long hair, but I have no idea.
Drew McIntyre fits 0 of the requirements.
He's on
SmackDown, long hair.
SmackDown.
He has an accent. Technically, I guess because he was in a tag team this week. But I think I would have definitely known if Drew McIntyre was on Raw or not.
Thank you.
Luke Gallows.
Yeah, that was never going to happen.
The OC. The big, tall, bald one.
Yeah.
See, I knew he had no hair, so you weren't going to get a hair color.
No. I still can't imagine who he is in my head.
The big, tall OC member. He's bald.
If I saw his face, I'd know who he was.
All right.
But him and Sheamus, or him and Cesaro start to look the same to me.
Not at
Twinsies.
all. That is all the time we have today. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Casual Wrestling Daily Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you have any suggestions or thoughts on future episodes, please don't hesitate to reach out and drop those in the comment section. And don't forget to join us on Monday, same place, same time for more wrestling talk. Until then, Lauren, ring the final bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Step in the ring, if you ready, let's go. Hey, casual wrestling community show. You already know, talking WWE. Keep it rolling and hosted by Notorious Nerdy D. Don't be sure that you gon' find. Tune in cause it's online. Hit 'em with a figure 4 leg lock, power driver or clothesline. We bringing that heat like the show, but you should